The second round of the AusCycling Cyclo-cross National Series was held at Adelaide's Zombie Park at the end of May. Port Adelaide Cycling Club playing host, with amateur cyclists from all around the country taking to what was quite a dry and dusty course. Although there were a few minor alterations to some of the course's corners, the main difference between the Round 2 course and Saturday's Round 1 course was this long, steep run up a dusty hill. The Masters action in the morning proved that the course would be one that favoured the road riders. Let's see how the elites got on. 11 riders took to the start line of the elite women's race, and just as with Saturday's action, it was Miranda Griffiths and national champion Kaurna Hosking who jumped out to an early lead. Of the reoriented corners, this was probably the trickiest. Note how Miranda Griffiths in the green and white takes a wide line, while national champion Kaurna Hosking and third place Fee Morris stay on the inside. As the field approached the run-up for the first time, it was still Griffiths leading Hosking and Morris. But check out young junior Maddie Wasserback, an Adelaide local who'd slotted all the way up into fourth place. As the field came towards the end of the first lap, it was still Griffiths leading Hosking, with Morris a further 9 seconds in arrears. The two leaders would shadow each other's every move over the following 20 minutes, with Griffiths mostly content to take up the lead. The crucial moment would come on lap 4, when Hosking was able to record her fastest lap time of the day, a 6-minute 58-second effort, distancing Griffiths by 10 seconds, with 2 laps to go. From that point on, the national champion was never headed, and although Griffiths was able to keep the gap close through the dust, Hosking would end up taking the win. Hosking's victory was her second of the weekend by a margin of 57 seconds over Miranda Griffiths and a minute 47 back to Fee Morris in third. Fourth and fifth place went to Simpson's sisters Anouk and Talia, with Anouk finishing fourth and Talia fifth. Also, Maddie Wasserback's winning time in junior women would have placed her fourth in elites if they'd been racing in the same category.
Kaurna Hosking, 2 wins in 2 days. Tell us about your race today.
Yeah, like I thought it'd be a tough race today. It was. I think just tried to stay efficient on the first few laps to find where the legs are, and then managed to put a bit of distance in the third last lap maybe. Yeah, that was a good race.
So was there a specific moment where you got the gap?
I'm not sure. I think I know I'm probably a little bit more technical through the sandy parts and can sometimes make a bit of time, so just put a bit in to see how it should stick on, but then I looked back and she was gone, so yeah, not sure.
Fair enough. And will we see you at the rest of the National Series?
Fortunately I won't be able to make it up to Brisbane, but I'll definitely be in Sydney and then hopefully in Ballarat as well.
Excellent, we'll see you there. Talia Simpson, 5th today. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, really good race. The course was super fun. I think yesterday I felt a bit stronger, but I got the same result. So yeah, really happy.
And what did you think of the course? Obviously this is back on the menu for South Australia for the first time in a little while.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, this is where I did my first cyclocross race ever, so it's really cool to be back. Very dusty, which was challenging. Like, we haven't done heaps sort of in the dust. I was expecting it to be a bit more muddy, but we haven't had any rain, so very dusty course, but absolutely played to my strengths. I think the corners, the takey corners, that was really good for me.
Under 23 national champion Tristan Nash wasted no time jumping out to an early lead over Chris Aitken and Gary Milburn of Map Sixpence CX, with Duke Flanders Racing duo Nick Smith and Dom Powell-Lilly not far behind. By the second lap, Nash had grown his lead to around about 15 seconds, while behind him the Map Sixpence CX and Duke Flanders Racing pairs had joined forces. By the run-up on lap 3, Nash was still looking strong, while behind him you can just see Dom Paolilli on the right-hand side of the picture start to move away from the chasers. Gary Milburn, Chris Aitken, Nick Smith, and in the fluoro yellow, Finn Kane. By the fourth lap, Paolilli was clear in second place and looking smooth around the corners, while behind him there was a three-way battle going on for third place between Gary Milburn, elite national champion Chris Aitken and Nick Smith. Aitken would eventually be distanced, leaving Smith and Milburn to battle it out for third. Second elite National Series win in 2 days for Tristan Nash, the Western Australian skidding over the line to victory. Paolilli would finish second 49 seconds back, his best ever result at a National Series, while the battle for third place was won in a late sprint by Gary Milburn, Nick Smith having to settle for fourth, and national champion Chris Aitken taking fifth place on the day.
Tristan Nash, 2 wins in a row. Tell us about your race today.
It was good, definitely harder course today. Big long climb which hurt the legs, hurt the body. I actually got a flat on the second or third lap, so I've had to ride that for about half a lap. It wasn't too bad, but I lost a bit of time and then just had to recover a bit from going quite far into the red. And just edge the gap back out.
So you managed to get a gap quite early?
I got a gap early again. I attacked up the first hill and got to the front, sort of rode through those corners. But I think I lost about 20 seconds to the flat.
Tell us about your race.
Yeah, a bit better race than yesterday. I sort of hung in there with Nick and Chris and tried to let them do much of the work, and yesterday was definitely not my best ride, so good to be back up there in the fight today.
And course was very dry and loose today?
Yeah, it did have a fair amount of grip. You just needed to know where it was going to slide and where to push, so the run-up was nice, and yeah, that's where I made a bit of time.
Chris Aitken, 5th today. Tell us about your race.
Alright, so today was quite it was hard again, always is when it's a national round. It was a fast pace from the start. Young Tristan Nash took off pretty early on, like he did yesterday. I don't think he got as far ahead today, which is nice. He let everyone be a little bit closer. A bit more bunch racing today, which I think would have been more exciting for everyone to watch. I myself tried for a bit, went backwards rather quickly, ended up in 5th, but it's nice to see a few new faces up there. Everyone's getting along. Some good racing, very dusty, very dry. I'm sure you can no doubt see how brown the ground is behind us. But no, all in all, it's been a relatively successful weekend.
Yeah, and Fee said you had a comment about the organisation of the track.
Yeah, so obviously the bunting's great, but I feel like we need to do something with the pit situation here. We've got a 90-degree corner on the way in and a 90-degree corner on the way out, so I think we can, maybe follow the tech guide that we actually put out and have a proper pit lane would be very much appreciated. I've been asked by the commissaires in the past my thoughts. I'll let them know, but nothing seemed to change from year to year. But
Thanks for watching CX Down Under's coverage of the AusCycling CX National Series. We'll see you for the next rounds in Brisbane. In the meantime, here's the weekend's best heckle.
I get better runs in my shorts. Come on, girls, up, up, up.